Welcome to Times Square, the heart of the city that never sleeps, where Syracuse and West Virginia kick off in the Pinstripe Bowl on Saturday. Baseball dirt. It's something you'd expect to find on a baseball field, especially this one, built at the site of the old Yankee Stadium. But you won't find a whole lot of this stuff on the field in that building. It's the new Yankee Stadium and the site of the Pinstripe Bowl. Carmelo Anthony came back to the Salt City, still wearing the orange and blue, but this time as a professional. Every student in attendance got a headband, and every Pittsburgh fan in the building picked up one of these. It's a gold t-shirt, part of Pittsburgh's gold out against the orange. A 78-57 win over DePaul for Syracuse, but the story of the night was bidding adieu to two SU seniors. Trevor Cooney on the Syracuse side said he might even go as far as wearing eye black to combat the glare from the sun. The elements came to play in the Pinstripe Bowl between Syracuse and West Virginia. No sun, no problem for Nate Hackett and his Syracuse offense. He turned to the ground. Defensive lineman Marcus Pierce-Brewster and Devon Walls were charged with felony burglary today after taking nearly $1,000 worth of electronics equipment from a South Campus apartment. This time it was Marquette who used what head coach Jim Boeheim is most well known for against him. Police are still searching for those responsible for vandalizing West Hill High School's new turf field. The new surface was part of a $30 million renovation project at the school, and authorities believe it was vandalized late Sunday night. When Citrus TV looked ahead to the basketball season that was about to start way back in November, the annual man-to-man experiment in the early non-conference was the biggest controversy in the Salt City. It didn't take long for that to change, but not to worry. We'll take you through everything that was the roller coaster season of 2011 and 2012. That's what's up next on Q's Countdown. Back when Syracuse's Jim Boeheim came to lead the Orange in 1976, the first assistant he took on was the interim head coach at Hawaii. That hire had led the Warriors in only 6 games the season before and won only 2. That was the beginning of a beautiful friendship between Rick Pitino and Jim Boeheim. It might not have always been polite, but it's one that spanned 5 decades. And the latest installation of that rivalry was a showdown in the Carrier Dome, the final Big East matchup between those two cornerstones of the conference. And early on, it was Russ Smith who got into the action, but MCW would answer him 30 seconds later, tied up at 3. Then we head to halftime, second half, less than 3 minutes in. Wayne Blackshear already nails a 3 to give Louisville a 28-23 lead. After a Rakeem Christmas dunk, James Sutherland follows with a flush of his own. He had 13 points on the night, the only bench player from SU to have any points, and a minute later, Sutherland hits again when he drills a 3 to put SU up by 2. 20 seconds later, Kevin Ware puts the Ville back up 1 with a 3 of his own. He only took 3 shots on the night. He had 8 points. A little bit later, CJ Fair hits a jumper, SU a 1-point lead. He was a workhorse on the night, 19 points in 38 minutes. And after SU led, Luke Hancock hits the dagger 3. 58-53 is your final score. SU hits a 3-game skid, and the Cuse drops its 3rd straight game. Dajuan Coleman made his return after knee surgery. He only had 3 minutes and didn't get to the scorer's sheet. In fact, the entire SU bench was held scoreless, save for James Sutherland's 13. The Cardinal reserves combined for 22 on the night. CJ Fair led the way with 19 in a losing effort, and Brandon Trish checked in with a career-high 7 turnovers. The Cuse would play again before the week was out. Coming into Saturday's matchup, only one team had won games at a better rate than Virginia since 2008. That would be Syracuse. Both those squads took more than 80% of the contests that they stepped on the field for. And early on for Syracuse, it was Bobby Wardwell getting ready before he faced off against Virginia. He was victim to a goalie by committee situation last season. He's emerged as the top netminder. Early on, it was the SU offense. JoJo Marasco scores to put the Cuse up 3-2, 5:49 into the first quarter. He'd end the day with 2 goals and his 100th career point. A little later on, Ryan Tucker scores for Virginia, gives the Wahoos a 5-4 lead with 2:23 left in the second quarter. That was his only action of the afternoon. Wardwell denied him 3 times. Later on, attackman Dylan Donahue scores. SU's up 7-6, 12 seconds left in the third quarter. He had only 1 shot on the afternoon. He sure made it count. He also checked in with an assist. Early fourth quarter, Brandon Mullins goes down, and this is scary. He caused a turnover, but he and Dave Hamlin held Virginia's Nick O'Reilly to no points on the afternoon. O'Reilly is the Wahoo's leading scorer. He averages nearly 5 a game, so Tough to see him go down there. And a little later on, Matt White scores the game-tying goal, tied at 8, when in overtime, Kevin Rice becomes the hero. He said he just found his sweet spot and let it rip with 1 minute remaining in overtime. Just his second shot on the afternoon. And the 17 goals is the fewest scores in the series history. The only other time those two powerhouses were held to just 17 was in 1938. It was the first time the Orange and Cavaliers did battle. It was a 13-4 Syracuse win. So fast forward 65 years, where Citrus TV's Ron Schiltz tells us how the Cuse spread the wealth against the Wahoos. That's right, Katya. Imagine playing your favorite sport on a national stage. Pretty cool, right? Now do it just a stone's throw away from where you grew up. That's exactly what Syracuse's Brandon Triche and DaJuan Coleman get to do when they take the court in the Carrier Dome, less than 4.5 miles from the hardwood they played on at Jamesville DeWitt High School. 3 years ago, the Orange featured the J.D. Red Ram combo of Andy Routens and Brandon Triche. This season, Triche and DaJuan Coleman will take the floor as the homegrown pair. It's a testament to the approach taken by Jamesville DeWitt High School head basketball coach Bob McKenney.
He's one of those guys who let you play. He coaches, let you suggest things like that, and it's just so free.
After succeeding in that system, Triche flew under the radar as a recruit. Coleman was ranked as a top 10 prospect, and it turned up the heat of the spotlight on JD's program.
To walk into an open gym and the kids are playing pickup, and you got Roy Williams and Jim Boeheim and Louisville and UVM and all levels of Division I watching the kids play. We had pretty good games on those nights too.
When Coleman picked the Cuse over Kentucky and Ohio State in the lobby that houses the J.D. High School Hall of Fame, the Central New York crowd erupted.
And Adrian looks down at me and he goes like this. So I was like, oh. Name of the Padre Espiritu Santo, man. I was very happy.
Coleman's arrival doesn't just add another CNY product to the court. He and Triche are molded from the McKenney model of quiet leadership.
Yeah, they are the big men on campus, obviously, but they don't act it. They're very humble, and they're great people, and their character really shines through. Because they could be right here, right now, and you wouldn't even know they're on campus.
To know that they care about their school and their friends here, and they come back, and that just I think it makes it even more special that when they're going to walk on that court, they're really part of the JD family.
McKenney's trip to San Diego is already set for the season opener. He'll witness two of his own take the national stage together once again. Kevin Barry, NCC News. Thanks, John. Fourth-ranked SU Hoops returns to the Carrier Dome tomorrow night to take on Long Beach State. The Orange is 6-0 after topping Eastern Michigan 84-48 on Monday night. And while most Orange fans are riding high with the Hoops team, SU has one very outspoken critic.
We got a lot of work to do to get to be good. We want to get to be good. Last year's team was good right now. This team is not good. They've got to get to be good.
Still, Coach Boeheim's squad has won 48 straight non-conference games and 26 in a row inside the Dome. Both of those streaks are on the line tomorrow night against the Long Beach State squad that's picked up a win in the Big West Conference. And there's another update in the New York Jets saga. Today, head coach Rex Ryan announced that he will stick with Mark Sanchez as the team's starting quarterback. The Jets had a tough decision to make after Sanchez threw 3 picks against the Cardinals Sunday. Making things worse, Ryan benched Sanchez for the first time in his short career. Third-string quarterback Greg McElroy came in and threw the only touchdown in the Jets' win.
Of course you want to be in the game. I haven't been in a situation like that before, but it was a learning experience, and we'll move on.
Sanchez and the Jets face the Jaguars Sunday in Jacksonville. And staying in the city, the Knicks look to keep their winning streak alive with a trip to Charlotte tonight. New York has won 3 straight following its overtime loss to Brooklyn. Last time out, the Knicks took care of the Suns at MSG, 106-99. Former Syracuse standout Carmelo Anthony was once again the star of the game, dropping a game-high 30 points. That's the 6th straight outing where Melo has led all scorers, bringing his season average to just under 27 points per game. Tonight is the first meeting of the season for the Knicks and Bobcats. Progress is slow and barely steady in negotiations between the National Hockey League and its Players Association. Both sides sat at the bargaining table in New York for almost 10 hours before continuing discussions this morning. The league's Board of Governors is scheduled to meet later this afternoon as more players have descended on the scene to put pressure on the owners. Penguins captain Sidney Crosby and Blackhawks frontman Jonathan Toews joined the fray as the work stoppage enters its 80th day and has caused the cancellation of more than 420 games. That's your sports update. I'm Kevin Barry.